The other thing which will be compromised to the point of collapse will be American reputation. Because even if we convince ourselves that Ukraine is not important because we're not really paying attention to it, I can assure you, and this, I'm sure many of you have had these conversations as well, but pretty much everybody around the world, whatever their stand towards the United States might be, looks upon Ukraine as an incredibly easy test for us. Incredibly easy because we don't have to send soldiers. Incredibly easy because the amount of money concerned is frankly invisible. Incredibly easy because ideologically it's exactly the case that we keep saying we care about, a democracy which is directly threatened. And so if we can't pass a test which our allies, adversaries, and everyone else regards as being incredibly easy, we can't expect our allies, adversaries, and others to think that we will pass harder tests in the future. We can bluster all we want about it, but if we fail to pass this test, no one's going to think we're going to pass any others. But that's not all either. And now I'm going to say something which is certainly going to be painful for our Ukrainian guests. And I have to apologize for this in advance. But if Ukraine loses, that doesn't mean that Ukraine disappears. It means that these incredibly skilled and experienced soldiers will be press ganged into the Russian armed forces. It means that the technologies which Ukraine has developed on its own, technologies, without being too specific, although I'll be happy to do more in the Q&A, technologies which Taiwan very much needs will instead go to Russia and to China. It will mean that Ukrainian agriculture, which is the third or fourth most important agricultural sector in the world, will be controlled by Russia rather than by Ukraine. It will mean that rare earths in Ukraine, which are necessary on the market and necessary for lots of people, will be controlled by Russia. So there's a lot more to be lost here. It's not a country which will disappear. It's a country which will then, whose resources, including its human resources, will then be pushed, pulled, forced in another direction. And then it will be that Russia that one has to deal with. A Russia which has won a war of aggression, a Russia which has proven that the rules don't matter, a Russia which has gained lots of resources, and a Russia which has proven, not only to itself but to most of the world, that there's no particular reason to take the Americans seriously. That's what we have.